real well. Lamont Frazier is the other person. I think we've got him defined now, and so that's given us at least a little string on the bench.
All right, so here we go. A chance for you to meet the 91-92 Tigers.
The 1991-92 Tigers broke out of their cage early this season, outscoring their first 6 opponents 525 to 371, and adding 6 more victories to one of the nation's longest active winning streaks. Senior streak Anthony Peeler added to his already lengthy honor roll early, being named Big 8 Conference and Sports Illustrated's Player of the Week. Moves like this have helped this Tiger guard break through the 500 rebound, 400 assists, and 150 steal barriers. Senior forward Jamal Coleman scored in double figures the last 13 games of the 90-91 season to average 14 points and 8.6 rebounds per game, while shooting .541 from the field. Jamal made the honorable mention roster on both the AP and UPI All-Big 8 teams last year. Cast from the same mold as former Tiger greats Mike Sandbody and Greg Church, junior forward Jeff Warren may be this year's hardest-working Tiger. A staunch defender, Jeff has already surpassed his previous career high scoring mark of 20 points. How do you spell relief? Tigers' Jamal Coleman and Jeff Warren might spell it H-E-L-L-E-R. Former Prep All-American and Mr. Show Me Basketball Junior center Chris Heller has been sidelined with an ankle injury, but his return will spell anything but relief for Tiger opponents. Junior guard John Burns walked onto the Tiger team in the 1989-90 season. Though his hard work and good outside shooting skills earned him a scholarship last year, John will have to work even harder to see more playing time on this talented squad. Last year's freshman class was arguably one of assistant coach Rich Daly's finest recruiting classes, and they all returned to polish their skills this year as sophomores. Melvin Booker was thrown into the fire early as a freshman, starting 25 games at guard for the Tigers. This Big 8 all-freshman pick averaged 10.4 points per game for the final 13 games of the 90-91 season, and tied the single-season assist record of 105, held previously by Travis Ford. Javon Crudup returns to his position at forward as a sophomore this year, and will be counted on to help make up for the loss of Doug Smith to the NBA. Javon averaged 12 points and 7.1 rebounds per game last year, and made the Big 8's all-freshman team, despite missing the second half of the season to a broken wrist. Another sophomore forward, Derek Dunham, has the size and strength to play inside, but has been primarily a perimeter player. Though Derek saw only limited time last year, he has an impressive soft touch and will be needed to improve the Tigers' inside depth this year. Sophomore Lamont Frazier is talented enough to play at both guard and forward positions. Though knee problems cut into court time for Lamont last year, he's already making substantial off-the-bench contributions this season. MU's guard core will be a team strength this year, and sophomore guard Jed Frost adds his adept three-point shot to the guard pool. A walk-on last year, his outside shooting skills contributed to several Big Tiger victories, including the conference season opener against Oklahoma State. Reggie Smith handed out 80 assists and stole the ball 28 times as a freshman. He brings his 35-inch vertical leap back to the guard position this year as a sophomore, and will play a key role in making the Tiger guard corps the best in the Big 8 for 92. The only new scholarship awarded this season goes to freshman forward Steve Horton. Steve missed nearly all his senior year at Jefferson City High to a knee injury, but his rehabilitation is going well. The final two freshmen for 92 are two talented guards who both turned down scholarships to walk on at Ole Mizzou. Derek Johnson, the all-time leading scorer at Jefferson City High, was a courtmate of Steve Horton's and a 3-year MVP for the Jays. Derek averaged 25.5 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 steals per game as a senior. The 1991 USA Today Player of the Year in Missouri, freshman guard Chris Smith averaged 31 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds, and 3 steals per game to lead his Nevada, Missouri high school team to a 31-1 record. Johnson and Smith add scoring depth to an already potent Tiger backcourt.
With me now is Greg Michelson, managing editor of the Missouri Review. Greg, welcome.
You some of the highlights of this undefeated Tiger team. We're not going to show you any free throws. Here you are.
The Tigers went out looking for Thanksgiving dinner and quickly set to feast on the Golden Griffins of Canisius. The Tigers led 31-11 at the half, and some of the younger Tigers were seen gorging on Griffin late in the game. The final 72-42.
All right.
The Aggies of Texas A&M were next to fall. Melvin Booker had 3 trays and 18 points to lead the Tigers to a 43-18 halftime lead. AP and Jamal Coleman both saw airtime in the second half as the Tigers advanced past the Aggies 77-47. Up from Tallahassee, the Florida A&M Rattlers rolled into the Hearn Center. Jeff Warren and Jamal Coleman combined for 32 first-half points. The Tigers led 43-31 at the close of the first stanza. AP added 19 second-half points to finish with 30 as the Tigers routed the Rattlers 86-61.
77 Player of the Year in the Big Eight. Chris led his team to the Final Four in the state of Missouri, and he always wanted to attend the University of Missouri. We didn't have a scholarship available for him, but he came anyway. He earned his money, and he walked on our campus, came to the University of Missouri, enrolled as a student, and is on our basketball team.
Well, over the years, Coach Stewart has had some very successful walk-ons who have made it big before they graduated. Right now, let's check out this youngster, Chris Smith of Nevada.
Nevada, Missouri native Chris Smith led his high school team to a 30-1 record and a second-place finish in Class 3A. The USA Today Player of the Year in Missouri entertained scholarship offers from Oklahoma State and Colorado, but decided to walk on at Mizzou.
At the beginning of my senior season, I didn't think I wouldn't go Division I. I'd just to pick between Division II schools, but then I had the chance to go Division I, and so I decided that I've always wanted to play here, so if I had the chance, that this is where I'd come no matter what.
Despite being a star guard in high school, Chris knows he has to work hard to compete at the Division I level.
There's a lot of different things anybody has to do coming from the level of high school to college, but as small as I am, I think I'm going to have to get down and play defense and just raise my game to a different level.
One reason Chris chose MU was his experience at Coach Norm Stewart's basketball camp.
My grandma used to send me mail every day, so I'd have to go get the mail from him every morning, like in front of the whole camp. So, I mean, I just always had looked up to him, and he would come watch our games, and I'd always try to put a little extra hustle or something, you know, dive on the floor or something like I've always been taught. And I just think the way my coach has talked about him, this is a place that I would like to play under a coach like Coach Stewart.
Chris hopes to make his mark on the Big Eight, but he knows there are more important things in life than basketball.
Now, this program, I think you're going to become a better person and a better basketball player at the same time, the way Coach Stewart develops people. I just think that you come from a basketball program like this, you'll be successful in society.
In Fayetteville, the Hogs are running wild. Nolan Richardson and the 11th-ranked Arkansas Razorbacks are hard to beat in Barnhill Arena, led by the M&M boys, Lee Mayberry, and the biggest man on campus, Oliver Miller. Norm Stewart will have his Missouri Tigers running behind Anthony Peeler as the Tigers visit the Razorbacks next. From Barnhill Arena in Fayetteville, Arkansas, ESPN presents NCAA basketball as the Missouri Tigers meet the 11th-ranked Razorbacks of Arkansas.
Anthony has to shoot the ball a little bit better. He's got a nice stroke. I think with this team, he's a leader. He's got the qualities of making a young...
So we're set to go. Crudup and Morris will jump.
Curious to see if they run that passive pressure. Maybe Norm Stewart misled us. Let's take a look. This is lack of activity and inexperience in game situations. I mean, that's one of the toughest takedowns. If the Razor Bar, and Norm saying, boy, it's a rough welcome to Fayetteville.
Arkansas rounded and another turnover. 2-on-1 now. Warren on the wing to the basket.
Nice give up by Booker.
Down low, Crudup. Good position.
Sure was. Roll people free.
Shepard got away with a travel. Rejection by Crudup. It'll be the Hogs. And Missouri pushing it the other way. Peeler to the basket.
Oh!
Right
buried
Miller.
He almost took us with him.
Won't go. And Missouri pushing it the other way. Peeler to the basket.
Oh!
Right
buried
Miller.
He almost took us with him a couple of years ago. And that's where that belly comes in handy, too.
Smith all the way to the basket, right by Miller.
While the guards are not... Look at him turn it up.
Oh, once again, tried to do the same thing. That time Miller got over, but he also fouled him.
And Nolan up and furious. He's to play. When you think of his buddy, Doug Smith, down in Dallas, playing inside, he said he's saying, Coach, I should have gone to JUCO. Should have gone to JUCO. Pretty good sense of humor. You may beat them early, but it'll get you late.
Nice move by Warren. Take one more look at Anthony Peeler. Is this an athlete?
Sit back and enjoy. There's more of this to come. Missouri, not afraid. Taking
An international sports event, it's customary for coaches and players to exchange gifts. You don't think about that too much at a college basketball game, and yet here's what happened just before the tip-off tonight.
Very cute. Norm coming bearing, never trust a stranger
right.
bearing gifts. But this is a tie with a few piglets, and Nolan, very warm.
Right back the other way, gives it up to Crudup, who can't convert, gets it back, tries it again, and has it.
Oliver didn't jump, just reached. Hey, Barry. Nice look.
Crudup
Breaking down the defense because of the half court.
Poetic justice. Crudup can't keep it alive. Peeler gets it back.
Oh, that's a guard, folks. All those old timers that took the two.
Crudup outside.
Not afraid.
I would think they'd give him that shot all day.
They're way back here to even get into the game.
3-on-2. They beat him back in transition. Warren to the basket.
And both guys were back here to even get into the game.
3-on-2. They beat him back in transition. Warren to the basket.
And both guys were back. Steals, you name it.
Crudup. And Crudup's really helping out.
Solid. Make contact.
Peeler the other way.
NBA.
Makes you pay, doesn't he?
Oh, he does. He does break you down. Look at this.
Gets in. Nice give up for Warren.
Oh, what a release with the proper English. If they have to run their inside little high-lows, look at this. What a bad gamble.
Miller overplayed it.
And Warren down there, landmass move down in Mexico and Texas, and he ended up going from a city to the run and press type of outlook.
Got a philosophy now, though, that seems lean in that time. Booker too hard. Second try, Crudup.
Quick
Great
release,
effort.
too. A lot of the ball, I think anything below the waist, they should just let go, Barry. Overload, then the pop. Look at that by Peeler.
Right to the basket. There
Nice.
right?
How about that play? Yeah, you like that? I've been picking on
Real matchup problem.
Sure does. Unselfish.
Booker.
Nice look. Well, you really, he's strong enough to pleasant guy, but right here he's not. He's giving out air. To me, that's his intentional. And then the leg trip. But more importantly, Missouri.
That is Booker.
Don't agree with you.
Why doesn't that surprise you?
Attack in the glass.
Lynn clears.
Got a chance for one.
Miller basket hanging, can't get it. And the first half comes to an end.
Great save down there defensively. I believe Warren got the block.
And a very high caliber performance. 2-point game.
That's showtime early on, but Arkansas still has the lead by 2 at the half.
With Peeler on your side, good things do happen, and the one nice approach he has to the game is he's very competitive. The jump shot we talked about will get better, but he pursues the basketball, able to complete sequence. Nice move.
Crudup, little pump fake.
He was free twice on that.
Booker, nice penetration and a perfect give to Crudup.
The spread.
He rolls over, it's a traveling call. Coleman is short, Warren is there.
They run the floor. Defensively.
Gets it back. Held on to it just long enough, but couldn't get it to fall. And a third try by Coleman. And now they're starting
to tease and laugh with one another, but it's all organization and business.
So Peeler converts. It's a 55-53 ball game. 2-point lead, Missouri. 15:04.
Frazier in had 9 points.
Warren left it for Peeler nicely
to finish off in their Canisius game.
Over Miller, that's not easy. Warren the cheap bat return. Booker follows for a third time. They just crash into the board.
They're quick. Away from recruiting. You see Oliver Miller on that angle? Look at it beating him down. Oh, this is just extraordinary.
That's great stuff.
It is. Well, you better fill the tank up.
Assists the line for Peeler.
Just hanging tough. And the best Arkansas has been able to do is the dribble. And also, the old-timers like to get him back home. You don't have to worry about him.
Smith was open, but Morris did a good job to jump at him. Warren is all alone.
Gorgeous deployment.
And a foul, and that will quiet the crowd in a big hurry.
7% last year. You see why. as they get the ball where they want. He doesn't stay in the foul line, rolls to the goal.
16 points for Warren in the ball game.
Well, they're breaking them down, aren't they? Hide the baseline, roll a high. Wow, is that deep?
And gets it.
Home run. Well, you like your leadership. The high post.
What they're trying to do.
Look at this.
Crudup gave it up nicely to Warren.
Just gorgeous offense. And Warren alert for the cut down the gut.
And a nice look by 66. Another look.
Well, just gorgeous positioning, and then the response. You don't want to be a spectator out in that foul line. And
look out, Peeler to the bounce.
oh, Barry!
Look out, Peeler to the bounce.
Barry! Help!
That might have broken a long jump record there.
The nails are out of the floorboard. And there are guys who are confident on the break, but this is going to the goal with the best of them.
It's pretty big time stuff.
But can he do it righty, Barry?
Well, there you are. See that? One. Yeah, that's a little, especially at this jump.
Call.
I hate this. Well, I don't want to get into it. Peeler converts. I'm sure it holds true for basketball as well.
Quite an analysis, saying that he just get a little older and establish themselves with a little impact in the program.
I think we're going to see that from Todd Day. I expect I will have fun for another couple of years, and I'll sit back and make whatever kind of decisions I need to make.
Probably a 9-iron or a way. Short denial, a big guy on the ball, and they break down in the rear.
Easy. Coleman.
Send it in. Oh, you've got to have respect back.
Well, I tell you, talk about what has befallen Arkansas in the second half. No field goals from, I beg your pardon, I lied about Morris. Morris and Mayberry, 4 between them.
Not too long ago. To Bobby Knight.
Yes, that's right. It's the first time I've heard him referred to as the German. I was going to say that the numbers of Peeler have not really been all indicative of what he's done for this team.
He's above that. Let them know that we're here and we're going to tee it up all night with you.
34 seconds remaining in this one. For all intent, it is over. Missouri 85, Arkansas.
His bucket is always full.
In fact, our producer, Jeff Gowan, who's carrying the load in the truck, carried the load for him.
So when you think of Final Four, but some of the things are there. It's just a matter of getting a couple of guys back.
And it's over, and a most impressive win, to say the least. 87-76, Missouri wins it. This crowd really almost in stunned silence. They're all just kind of standing here. Nobody's left and kind of looking and saying, okay, what about the next quarter?
And Missouri just stuck it to the Razorbacks. They came out, chin up, ready to go, and Peeler's emphatic and resounding jam set the tone.
51% shooting for Arkansas in the second half, or rather for Missouri. Arkansas. Let's go to John and Jim.
All right, Barry and Bill. 87-76. Now 5 games in a row. The Missouri Tigers have won at Arkansas.
6. Back in the friendly confines of the Hearn Center, the Tigers look to the Nebraska Kearney Antelopes for their 5th consecutive win. The Tigers led by as much as 49 with 6 players scoring in double figures and leapt past the Lopers 113-67. As the running Rebels of UNLV took the floor in Columbia, Jeff Warren was seemingly outsized in the paint by 7-foot, 270-pound Elmore Spencer. The Tigers and the Rebels ran wild with 7 first-half lead changes and 5 ties. Though it was 32 all at the half, the Tigers came out hot and never let UNLV back in. Melvin Booker solidified MU's lead with 3 quick trays. Jeff Warren had a career-high 24 points and 18 rebounds. AP and Javon Crudup combined for another 48 as the Tigers outran the Rebels 90-78. Missouri moved to 7-0 with a big Hearn Center victory over Jackson State. And
good reasons. A look into the Magic Christmas Ball reveals Anthony Peeler providing strong leadership, scoring 25 points a game to lead the Big 8 Conference. Jeff Warren playing bigger than his 6'8 frame and leading the team with 9 rebounds a game. Javon Crudup, whose strong inside play led him to a 23-point, 15-rebound performance in Mizzou's last outing. And Mizzou coach Norm Stewart, whose 7-0 Tigers want only to end Lou Henson's 8-game winning streak in this, the 11th annual Busch Bragging Rights game. So sit back, relax, and prepare for the border war. Illinois Arena in St. Louis, Missouri, where 18,000-plus fans will look on as the Fighting Illini of Illinois take on the Missouri Tigers in the Busch Bragging Rights game.
He started slow this year, but over the last 5 ball games, he's been sensational, averaging over 28 points a ball game, and he's been shooting the ball real well inside from Illinois. He's their leading scorer and rebounder, a good threat. He's got to be strong on the boards for him. He has to have a big game.
Michael, Pierce, Thomas, Clemens, and Wheeler, the starting 5 for the Fighting Illini. Norm Stewart's going with Crudup, Warren, Smith, Booker, and Peeler. The Tigers 7-0. Rooney. What an atmosphere for this game tonight. It's about 50-50. Sometimes it's been 3-1. Center for Missouri, 20 minutes on the board, and we're set for college basketball from the arena. Stan Reynolds gives it a toss, and Clemens will control the basketball for the Fighting Illini. Back come the Tigers. Booker for 3. Count it.
Boy, he's been hot as of late. He's been shooting the ball just really. In fact, he shoots a better percentage from.
Second foul, the third team foul. There's Anthony Peeler with that shake big move into the lane. He was coming down on the shot, still made it.
The defender had him. He took the ball away, as you said, on the way down. Double pump. 20 more assists on the season. Nice pass there, just what you were talking about.
And there's Crudup to score the basket after Smith found a wide open.
Excuse me, it's important as far as Illinois is concerned. There's another good block on this end. If they stay in this ball game with Deon Thomas to put the ball up, he can shoot it. He just hasn't been going after it.
He can steal it,
They
too.
got it.
Here's Anthony Peeler with a great recovery.
Oh, yeah. Good hands.
Anthony Peeler has scored 4 in the first half. Missouri 9, Illinois 3. The Tigers are putting Missouri.
Good pass. Good pass.
Dunk for one.
Travel.
No basket. He did travel.
Boy, that was a beautiful pass. Let's watch it. The bounce pass through. Takes 1, 2. I don't know what rhythm there. Yeah. I don't think he's. Let's watch it again. Look at the beautiful pass right here behind the defensive man. Looks like 1, 2, and out. I think it looked like a good play. Let's watch
Looked like
again.
a basket and one and a foul on Clemens.
Boy, I think that's a pretty good play.
By catching the ball behind him, Gary,
Yeah.
that may have confused the official.
He believed it or not.
Illinois has been blanked. Booker in the corner. Now inside. Oh, and scores on the great pass by Crudup.
What a look. What a look. Most guys, Strong is going to take that shot, but he sees the open. Get an example of it right here. They come inside. Crudup goes up. Thomas leaves his man to double up. Crudup sees Warren underneath. Wide open. Takes it up. And in. Thomas, I don't think, even saw the play.
Peeler inside. Yes. 6 for Anthony Peeler. He'll have a shot at number 7.
Well, he can do it all. He can go inside, go outside. He takes it up there, takes it into the arm right there and draws the foul. And then with that left hand is able to take it. The freshman scoring record last year was 452 points.
Great hang time by Peeler, and he's perfect. Man-to-man. This is Taylor. With a step inside pressure. Blocked by Crudup. Shooting ball clock. And Gary, for the most part, they've been able to get Missouri into a half-court offense.
Good pass.
There's Crudup.
Boy, for young people watching the ball game right there, when you enter that pass, take it away from the defender.
In the first half for Lou Henson. 2 of 18 and 0 for 6 from the three-point line, Gary.
They've got to feel.
Tuttle nearly lost the ball. Good block. No foul. A block inside by Crudup. Crudup fights for the ball, looks for help, and Smith is there to provide the assistance he needed. Here's Jake big move to the lane for Frazier. Count it.
Boy, a good move by Peeler, but Taylor stayed right with it.
Norm Stewart comes over to check the condition of Reggie Smith. Dr. Glenn McElroy is there along with Ron Dubuque.
He jammed that.
first half points. And if they keep this up, Gary, they'll wear Illinois down. Booker, after he'd been bothered by Scott Pierce. Booker for 2.
Now there's the difference. They get down quick, and Illinois might tire a little bit too, continually fighting them, and now they're getting some good easy cuts.
And that wears their team down mentally, Gary. Crudup, a little bit too far out of his range. Here's Peeler with the follow. Count it! The basket and 1 for Peeler, and he's fouled by...
Basket here. Crudup again coming down after just hitting one, comes up short here. But Peeler with the good offensive follow, turns his back, gets inside, comes up, gets the one into the chops right there, the defender, and gets the roll for 2, goes to the line, get a chance.
Nice inside for Crudup. Crudup got a step and cleared out Scott Pierce inside.
And Thomas
won't get to the 2 free throws and the 10th foul in this first half with only a minute 20 to go. And 1. Thomas with the rebound off the Pierce miss. A block by Crudup, and here comes Coleman. Of the foul. Here's the block on Thomas.
Well, Crudup went up. He got him off balance, but he went...
Cousin of Ricky Frazier, Lamont Frazier. That's his 3rd point tonight. Ricky Frazier.
So you know they weren't happy with it either.
Crudup blocked by Crudup, followed by Crudup.
Strong move.
If at first you don't succeed,
try again.
And Crudup has 12. 30 to the halftime. Right now, it's 16. Here's Coleman with 3 seconds, driving all the way. You bet. And they call a foul on Coleman, but I believe it's after the basket. Let's check with Pee Wee Summers. The basket does count, and Coleman is called for his first foul, but he gets his first basket, and time runs out in the first half. Here's the play.
Coleman is going to take it all the way himself. Little changeover dribble comes through. The defender comes there, stops. Technically, that ball, the basket should not count because it's not released before he makes contact. And Coleman was protesting. They'll give him the basket. It's a kind of a trade-off deal, and then you go down and shoot 2 free throws the other end.
It's a wash. Wheeler scores 2 after Coleman got his basket in the foul. The Tigers lead the Illini 32-16 at halftime. We'll be right back after this word from our sponsors. To that role.
One might think a non-scholarship athlete playing on a major college basketball team would be treated like an in-law, you know, part of the family, but never really feeling comfortable. That's not the way it works at Missouri. Here, walk-ons are welcome.
There's never any difference from the very start. Everybody's treated the same. You know, the only difference is probably just picking up the check at the end of the month. That's about it.
Many times, it's a player who's on the borderline as to whether he can play at the University of Missouri or whether he could go to a smaller school and play. But basically, they want their education at the University of Missouri and want to be on that squad, and they love basketball.
This is where I've always wanted to play since I've been to his camps and stuff. I think that if I had my mindset here, I was going to give up just about anything to come here and play if I got the chance.
This Tiger team sports 4 walk-ons, freshman Derek Johnson and Chris Smith, second-year sharpshooter Jed Frost, and junior John Burns. Proof that walk-ons work.
I walked on here my freshman year, and I was lucky enough to get a scholarship my second year. And I was really surprised. You know, I wasn't expecting it. You know, I didn't play much my freshman year, not very many minutes, and it just was a good feeling to know you're rewarded for all the hard work you did through the summer, you know, since you're little. You finally got rewarded.
The bottom line for these basketball players is not a paid tuition. Their payments come in playing time, applause, and pleasure.
If you really like the game and you really like to play, then you're going to try hard no matter what, whether you know you're going to play or whether you're not. That shouldn't affect how hard I try at practice or how hard I play in the scrimmages or anything.
Whether you're a walk-on or not, that's pretty good advice for anyone who wants to play this game. I'm Brian Nooner reporting for the Mizzou Sports Network.
To Warren. Warren scored 2 in the first half. This is Booker. And Booker got the kind bounce.
We made a good up-fake job in the first half of keeping him from getting the ball down that low. Good pass.
Terrific pass. Basket at 1. 2 great passes leading to that basket by Warren, who scores his 3rd and 4th. The basket for Warren. But Smith set up the play.
It's a great pass here, and then Warren with good concentration, a little finger roll to the basket, and Warren's got to say, thank you, Mr. Crudup. That's the second easy one I've got tonight. There it comes back. Back into the middle on the drive and penetration by Warren, and the little finger roll gets it down for 2.
Great concentrate. Michael missed. The Tigers come back on offense now. This is Crudup over Thomas. 12 for Javon now. Ahead for 12 in the 15:30 left in the second half.
Where they flashed Peeler to the post that time and cleared out behind. A good bucket by Frazier. And then he reversed. It looked like they wanted to get the lob play, but
it's to Melvin Booker. Here come the Tigers in the running game. Booker stops, pops, and it won't go. Tipped in by Crudup.
Crudup is playing lights out right now. We talked about the advantage being to Missouri on the offensive boards. Certainly has to be a lot more than
missed by Booker.
Comes up high, and then Crudup coming right in over the top and gets it down and expresses his second. Illinois a chance to take it into single digits, and there's the big bucket, and Peeler with the roll.
Peeler with 12. He forced that shot, but he hits.
He says, just settle down, take it easy, take your time, you're okay. And
good advice. 13.
I said it might be basket interference. It goes way up, comes down. Ooh, that's a close call. I don't know after watching it. That's close.
Booker scores on the other end for Missouri. He has 9.
That is the one big play right there.
This is what we... He'll get a bonus.
Games in a row, averaging 18 points over that stretch, and he's moving on that number again tonight.
16. He's 1 for 3 tonight. He's 50-50. 6 points. Booker for Warren.
Again, the key to that is the pass. Booker puts it out there, away from...
2:37. Let's take time out on the Mizzou Sports Network.
I see the action here. We talk about that pass. He softened it up, takes it away to the outside, and then a good move by Warren as he leans in and gets it up off the glass. Once again, too.
Warren makes his first free throw this time. 8 to go in the second half. Tigers 6 out of 15 in the line. 8 for Warren. Opportunity of the game. A 64% shooter this season. He's in double.
3-game period.
Booker averages 11.6. Illinois 41. We'll be right back with more basketball on the Mizzou Sports Network.
Former Illini coach, Gene Bartle.
Warren has 9 points now.
Stay with it. Still got 2:05 to play.
Book it for Booker. He has 12. 58-43 Missouri, 59-43 Missouri. 13 for Melvin Booker. That the Tigers were tense in the first half, and he really believed most of the turnovers were because of this losing streak to Illinois. And wanting to end it.
Tiger fans are feeling now. They feel like they're home free. They get a shot off now, down to 8. Oh, nice pass.
11 for Warren. Give the assist to Melvin Booker. We come down to 1. Correction, 14 for Peeler. In tonight's game, he was averaging 24.6. I've told you a little something about the makeup of this team, Gary, where Peeler doesn't have to score 24-25 points for Mizzou. Paolo can't score it. And that's the game. Missouri's 8-game losing streak is over. The final score from the St. Louis Arena. The Tigers 61, the Fighting Illini 44. Back to the arena in a moment on the Mizzou Sports Network. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Illinois Sports Information Director Mike Pearson and head basketball coach Lou Henson and his staff for all their help. We'd also like to thank Missouri Athletic Director Dick Tambureau, Associate Athletic Director Joe Castiglione, as well as Sports Information Director Bob Brendel and his staff for all the help from the Mizzou side. Of course, we'd like to thank Norm Stewart and his staff for their cooperation.
Mizzou went to 10-0 with victories over Murray State and Eastern Illinois.
Last night at the Pyramid, it was Guns and Roses. Tonight, all the Memphis State Guns take aim on Anthony Peeler and 12th-ranked Missouri. Peeler is something else. The senior guard can go inside or he can go outside. His 22-point average makes for defensive nightmares. But it's produced a dream season thus far for Mizzou coach Norm Stewart. His team is 11-0, and their average margin of victory is 25 points. MSU's hopes rest squarely on the shoulders of the dynamic duo. Anthony Hardaway looks more comfortable, and he seems to be looking to score. David Vaughn was just named the Great Midwest Conference Player of the Week. He'll need another big night tonight when the Tigers hope to show Missouri. Missouri team that has been awesome, even on the road. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dave.
Hope that he doesn't have the explosion, the 35, 36 points a game, which he's capable of having. Secondly, everybody else on the team, you got to keep the test for Memphis State here tonight.
Missouri's been amazing. They knocked off Oregon State on the road. They knocked off Arkansas in Barnhill Arena.
Tigers must do a better job rebounding. That's not a good shot, but he's going to get it to drop. Crudup falling away from the bucket, the cylinder completely.
Booker's wide open. He'll take it. He got it. Melvin Booker's first two are tied for. Smith blanketed by Hardaway there. It's Peeler over Billy Smith. He got that. Was tough. Oh, boy. Douglas in the game. Nice pass to Hardaway.
Ex-physical player for Memphis State.
Peeler makes it nice.
That's why you develop your bench early in the season so it can pay dividends later on.
9-9 our score. It's been very defensive end. Booker with a quick first step. Warren inside, and there was a pretty move. And he replaced Reggie Smith, and there is back to it. Hardaway forcing, got it.
Look where the shots are coming from. Sometimes the fouls aren't as deceiving as try to help his guards underneath. Good help defense by Memphis State.
And there's the second three in the game for Melvin Booker, and fly in the day of the game. They left Columbia today. They start three sophomores, a junior, and then Peeler, the only senior. They'll be around for a while. Warren got them both. He's got 6 in the game, and this one was a shooting foul anyway, and Coleman hits it. Well, they also been eligible, and Missouri is fighting it in court.
And he's got a restraining order that keeps him eligible to play.
Game, here is the score. Missouri with a 3-point lead at home against number 6 Kansas. We'll get you out there when the Big East game is done. Right now, back to Gary and Bill.
Okay, John, thank you.
Practically 21 seconds left as we await Kansas and Missouri.
Their plan will be there. Walker. What a finish. Seton Hall had an 11-point lead with 2:20 to go in regulation. There you see the game will be joining. Number 6 Kansas up on Missouri in the first. The Villanova Wildcats.
Villanova with the win over Seton Hall in the Big East. Now on to the Big 8. Number 6 Kansas up by 8, 24-16 over Missouri. Let's join Ron Franklin and Dick Vitale.
Thanks, John Saunders. Hearn Center, one of the noisiest, best places to view a game in the country. And right now, it's the visitors who are putting on a show. So here's the storyline so far. 8 points off 10 turnovers. Walters, 5 points. He's got 2 fouls. Missouri. Warren has the flu. He's out. Peeler with 6 points, 4 rebounds. But I'll tell you.
See him sitting there. That's Mr. Warren. He's got a viral infection. Cannot play. He really tried. Big point producer in the big games. Had a big game against Arkansas and had a big game against UNLV. Motion. They need a big performance out of Coleman, who's replacing him here tonight.
And the other guy also who is going to have to pick up the slack. Now the 7th turnover by the Jayhawks. And on the run, they get it from Coleman.
Good decision right there by Missouri in transition. The lane. These Antlers is something else here tonight. They've been rocking this place. First time I've ever been to the Hearn Center, Ron. And
this is a fun place, isn't it?
Oh, it's everything they've ever advertised them.
We're bad. He's done a heck of a job as far as changing the shape of his body.
I'll tell you one thing, he's got great work ethic, and they really compete too. I mean, he's got a great touch, and with their work ethic, working on all their big man moves, he's going to be a big-time player at Kansas. Came out of Cypress Junior College out of California.
Booker with the jumper. I tell you, he doesn't lack for confidence, does he?
Well, Booker got a lot of playing. They had a pretty good run. Rich Daly coached them. They got beat by Syracuse in the regional semis, and then they lost 3 times in a row.
Because of the probation by Missouri. The only kid that they signed last year, he promptly went out injured a knee. He's still not 100%. But the only scholarship
of complete probation, and now their coaches can go out and recruit again, and they're allowed to have paid visits as well.
The bench, that's Kim Anderson, who was a new addition to the Missouri staff here, had been down at Baylor with Coach Iba there, a former player here at Missouri. And I know that Norm was extremely pleased to gain his services as an assistant coach.
Well, he had a cup of coffee. A real threat from long range, Walters. Scratchy, that's their nicknames.
Loose, still loose. Coleman with the garbage move.
Coleman gets the loose ball, scores. Maybe he'll get some
personal foul. Dick, just as the foul was called, these two coaches know each other well, and they're also very good friends. And Roy turned the
shoot around. I think it was a great con game. They were conning each other. Coaches do a great job of that. They con, Norman's crying.
Then the Shack Man, LSU and Alabama. Tomorrow night, 9:30. You're going to have to hustle to do that tonight. But already, we have had an inordinate
here on a free throw line. You're not going to stop him. He's going to get too many opportunities.
A timeout. You can see it on his uniform. And they had to wipe the basketball clean.
Out of his team. Personnel-wise, he has really two star players in Peeler and Crudup, and everybody else is a good role player who understands their roles, and that's how you put teams together. What a shot at the buzzer.
Woodbury for 3 as the clock runs out. It is halftime. And remember one thing. The Kansas Jayhawks, when they lead at halftime in 1990, the Tigers 36. Awfully good first half. Passes it up at Booker from 12, and he'll get it.
Booker really knows his strengths. He's really
went right inside, but they get the turnover. That's 3 this half. Booker, nice dish to Peeler. Scott has picked up the foul.
Peeler wants to score on a goal. They say, yes, Anthony. Yes, AP. He says, I can.
Second personal foul on Scott as he goes out of the ball game.
Boy, Williams with that. That's where they missed Mark Randall last year. He would knock that down. NBA, that's a score. And NBA, that's Jamison with his 4th. That's a big foul on Alonzo. There's Peeler hanging and slashing and twisting and turning. Sure ball, deny play, passing lanes. Defensive philosophy of Missouri, jam inside. He started in America. How good is Jamison defensively? Jamison defense winner. And there is Todd Day. Shut him down. See, then they rotate from the 1-3-1. They slide into a 2-3. Instead of just playing basketball.
Frazier.
Great play getting back. Great play by Frazier. Beating Kansas. See, he beats him up the court. They out-hustle. He gets the good angle, scores, and it's up.
3-point play for Frazier.
That's a positive. When you can get productivity in your
7-4. I do remember that Missouri led 7-4.
Good offensive rebound inside position. Well, without the basketball, number 44. Look at the little loss here. Now look at him. There he is, going to be going through the defense, going through the zone. See, he's going to overload against the zone, and the zone is slow adjusting to him.
Peeler backs his way in. Not there. Crudup battling on the board. Goaltending called.
Javon Crudup is such an impressive walk. Jamison Fullness playing the cheerleader role on the sidelines. Thought it was going to come in the game. Frazier's been really a contributor, offensive player. He agreed, though, with Ricky Pitino that the best player in junior college or high school is Mark Hunt in the Carolina system, the Kansas system. Look at this hustle. Beats Oklahoma the other day. Nebraska's got only 1 loss. They beat Southern Cal. I mean, you look at that conference. Nebraska and Iowa State, 5 teams in America. Take a look at the standings right here. Look at these numbers.
By the way, this is the first please that they're a part of Big Monday. Peeler
with the little curl move. Steps right into the gap off a little. The most that a Temple teams had scored against him when John's been on that sideline. Last year they had 95 against him, and they played great against DePaul in southern Mississippi.
Tigers try to run 3-on-3. Kansas good in transition, though. Nice work. Wow.
Booker is so...
About to go under 5 minutes to play in this one. You see the shot clock on the left-hand side. Count it. 13 points.
He's on the baseline, and there's the back screen. Woodbury off a back screen. They caught him on the player. I thought for sure he'd convert there.
Walters dished it off. Well, that's a good look. This Scott is right.
And I still like Indiana. Everybody says I'm overrating them. I like Indiana. For a young man that had that foot problem where part of his foot was amputated in an accident. They played together in high school.
So there's a timeout on the floor. 2:44 left. Still no verdict. This
is where great players want the ball. He says tonight, I'm a great player. I'm on fire.
That's Jamison gets the 2, tried to get the 3rd.
That big screen. They want to go to Jamison on a box. Oh, nice look. Great look and dump and a jam by Mr. Davis.
10 points for Davis. No shot clock. You see the game clock on the bottom right.
Jamison's presence, wanting to go to him as their option down there, created that. The defense rotated to him. Good move down the lane by Davis.
Peeler. Not there.
There's the offensive
rebound. Not there.
Oh!
And Peeler with it. Davis has picked up the foul and he is gone. His 5th.
Unbelievable hustle on the glass. We always say that if you play aggressive basketball, you're going to offensively rebound. And that's what Missouri did here. They really, if they go down, it's not because of effort. What an effort on the glass against Kansas. As Peeler now going to shoot the long-range J. Now here it is. There's the first time by Kudo. There's the tip by Booker. There comes Peeler. I mean, are you serious? Great hustle.
So,
what a pressure cooker time. First game in the Big 8 at home here against Kansas. You want to be a contender, you got to win on your own living room floor. I tell you what, was he cool walking to the line that time? 12 for 12. Can he get 13? He needs 13 or they leave with an L.
On the 13th, can he get his 13th?
There it is. Tickle the card. It's OT, baby.
Jordan
it's OT.
Shot.
Oh! Oh! Wow! Oh!
He'll be back for the overtime following this.
This is unreal. And then, you know, you usually give the home team the advantage in an overtime. But Villanova proved that that doesn't always... There's the tag on the floor.
I'm telling you, that's 17 for him. Out on top, but quickly. Peeler is there, and he picks his pocket.
This is done. This is done. Yes, sir. For the Duncan time, AP. Showtime.
The 70th free throw in this ballgame.
Food-up is really...
Just 15 games, and then he broke it in Lawrence in the game against the Jayhawks up there.
And they still came on and won the Big 8. Does that tell you a little bit?
It was about to be the 70th. This is the 49th for Missouri in the game.
Very serious. Little shake and bake. They played off him.
Walters, good heavens, he must have been what? 20. And you again, Dan Patrick and Bob Lee are waiting with the Sports Center immediately following this ball game. As the hoop is good, Missouri will up, and that'll make a difference for the boys from Columbia.
No question, big difference playing without Jeff Warren. A great offensive rebound.
The Kansas Jayhawks get the win, and they are 1-0 in conference play from Hearn Center. Ron Franklin for Dick Vitale. Hope you've enjoyed it. John Saunders. Wow, what a start here tonight.
All right, Ron and Dick, what a start is exactly right. This is the middle.
Norms. The Missouri Tigers are off NCAA probation this year, which means they're again eligible for the big show. But the road to the Big 8 Conference has proven to be a minefield with traps hidden at every stop. Missouri needs an all-out performance today against Oklahoma.
Ago that the stars started coming out here in Norman, Oklahoma, as both Missouri and the Sooners get ready for a Big 8 battle down here in Oklahoma land. We welcome all of you to the Lloyd Noble Center. You'll see Norm Stewart's Missouri Tigers against Billy Tubbs' Oklahoma Sooners coming up live right now on ABC.
He's the leading scorer in the Big 8. He can shoot it from outside, but where he's most effective is in the open court. On the other hand, for Oklahoma to impress, they're going to need a big game from Damon Patterson.
% from the field. What should the fans watch for with this young senior star here, Jimmy?
I still say
with a big advantage here at Norman against the Tigers. Missouri controls game's first possession. That's Peeler, the left-handed shooter. Booker maneuvering. Good pass to Coleman. Taps beautifully off the glass. Big man to help out. Warren's on his right. Crudup will come up with his first shot. Tapped out. That's interference. And
post and hit that jump shot. Look at the break. Oh, Missouri gets it up.
And coming right back is Melvin Booker.
3 for Melvin Booker. On his way down, he smiled at us, Brent.
Look out. Peeler dishes inside, and Coleman with an easy layup, his second.
Missouri.
Now Coleman's 3 on its way. Booker, Melvin Booker. That's
so quickly that really Arkansas never recovered from that transition. That's what's going on right now. Here we go.
Jumper off the mark, but tapped back in by Booker. Steal. Should be easy for Booker. 10 points already for Booker.
A lot of young players do that. They bring it down.
That foul was on Jeff Webster. And Crudup hits both of them. Hamilton with the 3. Score it. Angelo Hamilton, one of the fine young athletes on this team, puts the Sooners up with the 3. With a 3 of 4 at the free throw. A tight picture of him, the young man from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And Anthony Peeler takes his game outside for the 3. And for Peeler, Warren lead pass to Smith, who glides for the layup. And no foul called, and Missouri able to follow up. It's Lamont Frazier off the Sino. They get it into Booker's hands. He's been quiet here, but he scores 10 early, and now they get it into Peeler's hands.
That was picking
the ball, don't they?
Stallion's every place. He's guarding people, shooting, blocking shots, talking.
And now they get into Warren. They'll take it back to Booker. He's maneuvering, penetrates.
Great play, Greg. I mean, that was basic basketball. When he made the pass.
Number 22. So from the perimeter, and Melvin Booker out of Moss Point, Mississippi. He has 15 points, and his career high is 22. Strong rebound, and Coleman's free. They let him out.
Transition basketball has really been always the threat of giving up the 3.
And Crudup from the right wing buries it. That's his third field. Here comes Booker now down at the other end, and it'll be Crudup from the right wing. Ignored him. Now they get it down. He comes down the baseline, battles his way inside, and there's why he's such an outstanding performer. Free throw shooter. See why? So that's 8 points for Jamal Coleman to go along with his 2 rebounds. That's a number that has really worked against OU this year. And the 3 from Evans, giving the Sooners a later in the halftime. This is Warren, and it stays down.
You know it's staying down today. Missouri here now. He's going to take an outside.
They're screwed up down inside against 2 defenders.
They're going to have to go inside without to do is hold it for 1. There it is. Why hold it? They tricked him. They held up 1. They said, we're going to hold. Here he goes.
Evans on the inside with a leaner. Missouri will take a 1-point lead into the locker room here at intermission. And we'll return to ABC's college basketball after these messages and a word from our ABC stations. Going in the first half. Booker steps in on the inside with that short jump shot, and he continues red hot. 19 points.
It's a little longer than
Long pass. Warren brings it down. Coleman.
Hasn't been a miss.
Missed by Webster. Missouri comes out on the break. 4 on 2. And what else do you expect from Booker?
What was it, 22 you said was his high? As well is he can get the ball up the court quickly, and he has a good sense of where his teammates are. Oh, yes, behind the back. And that man, you can book it. Book it, Dano. That's going in.
And out of the state of Michigan. 5 points for the game to go.
5% free throw shooter. And that's... Oh, that one was not supposed to go in.
That one got the bumpy pass. Gave an easy one. Book it.
What an afternoon he's having. Defensively, offensively, great anticipation. And look what the defense gives you. He's free.
This afternoon. Crudup steps out and buries the jump shot. I don't know how much longer Tubbs can wait. Just watch it.
He's been to the line more times than any throw than their opponents take. That's not happening today.
He's one of the better seniors in the country. Remember, here's a young man who went the distance. One. Now it's Missouri's turn. Smith.
55%. Looks good, though. You should be surprised at
They lead it by 1.
Patient.
Peeler. Pull-up jump shot.
Under control. Remember, for a defense, you don't come out, he throws it inside. If you do come out, hey.
Now it's going to be Anthony Peeler. Now Brett Price with the 3, and Oklahoma is up by a point. The shootout now. He'll take it. Didn't get the roll that time. Offensive rebound and a putback by Coleman.
That's where the shot is. Baseline's going to be there.
And Coleman gets the roll. So Jamal Coleman starts. This word from our ABC stations. Well, while you were away on that personal foul, it was a shooting foul. Oklahoma missing, but Missouri, led by Anthony Peeler's three-point play. Jamal Coleman's leading Oklahoma. Oklahoma winless in the conference at home this year. And Jeff Warren powers in for his 4th. They're coming down on offense.
Brought up to 65% free throw shooter. This guy's 81. He's he's getting a lot more airtime.
Doesn't bother him.
Knock it down.
He did that. A videotape.
Doesn't want to look because he knows it could be the 4th time.
From the line in Norman, Oklahoma.
As long as this guy keeps shooting them.
And he's got 6 of them. They've hit 15 free throws.
That didn't work. You see that? Veteran, senior. You wouldn't think he had 20 more.
He's a nice player.
Oh, terrific job. I have a feeling I'm going to jack up a 3 here. Other end, you can get 3 for there, too. But you got to use the clock a little bit better.
Two more for Crudup at that line.
That's big. That's where also Brent
Peeler go up and have a few words. He has, not only has he played well in this half, he takes charge of this team on the floor.
When you're down, go get to the lot, huh? Go get the car. Because the filtering out right.
7-90. Missouri with the lead. This has been the longest.
Hear that? Although it's a wonderful tournament. It's, you know,
they will fall to 2-5 in the Big 8 here this afternoon as Anthony Peeler wrapping up on down now. This one's going to go to the Tigers of Missouri. They will stay within a game of Kansas and Oklahoma State in the Big 8. Norm Stewart, rare victory in Norman as Missouri beats Oklahoma 99-92. All right, so let's go to Jimmy.
And they're awfully happy, Missouri Tigers here. First, I want to talk to the guy in the middle who seemed so relaxed today. Did you know this was going to happen?
Well, you know what? It's kind of like going out on 0-19 if you got the bat in your hand and swing. And these guys have been swinging all year, Jim. I'm really happy for them.
Did you talk before the game about what you talked to me about, which was only 3 wins here in the last 25 games? And you don't let them know that?
No, we talked about it. The seniors had not had a win here. They've had wins every place in this conference, but hadn't had one here. I think they wanted it, and I think the other people wanted to help them get it, too. They did a great job.
They did, Melvin. I want to talk to the senior first. We were really impressed, Anthony, that you really let the game come to you. You had 22 points, but it was kind of a quiet 22. You didn't force things. Do you feel that confidence today?
Yeah, the game was going very quickly in the first half, and I just tried to execute on defense, and hopefully the offense would come around. So I just tried to pick my spots on the offensive end and take some shots that was good for our offense.
Also, I felt you had a very nice court demeanor. Didn't get upset at a couple of those offensive fouls. I think that's an important part of your game, too.
Yes, I feel I was charged, and I needed to just pull up on the break and be under control. They caught me a couple of times out of control, but I just started pulling up, and the jumper started falling for me.
And Melvin, hey, this was a career day, huh, buddy? What do you have, 23 points, I believe, and did a little bit of everything. Rebounds, assists.
Well, I was feeling great today. I could tell in warm-ups that my shot was falling. You know, everything was going good. You know, I like the up-tempo game. You know, everything's going good today.
How about, I also noticed you had a high school teammate by the name of Laterrell Green. Is that true?
Oh, yeah. You know, me and Laterrell, we played together. You know, he's a great player. You know, I watch him play sometime. I hope he's watching me play.
Who took more shots?
Laterrell.
Well, he must have needed 2 rocks for that one, huh, Coach? Big win, though, in the conference standings. I mean, it keeps you in the hunt, Coach.
Yeah, it's a good win for us, and it does do that because we're still sitting there with 2 losses in the conference, and we've got a couple road wins now, Jim. We better tighten our defense up a little, though, don't you think?
You've changed your strategy since I used to go against you, but congratulations to the Tigers and the Big 8. Back to you, Brent.
All right, Jimmy, thank you very much. Well, Missouri with a big win over Oklahoma, 99-92. Jimmy, we got an opportunity, and there's an issue.
The surprises continue. This is the way the Big 8 standings look. Kansas on top at 7-1. And tonight, from the Hearn Center in Columbia, Missouri, number 9, the Missouri Tigers taking on the Cornhuskers of Nebraska.
Seniors in the country, and one of my favorite players, a stat sheet stuffer, 22 points, 6 boards, 3 assists, 38 steals, and he likes to do his work with style and class, and he does it in the clutch. He had 35 points against the best want to play against the best, and you've got teams in this conference that are the best conference in the league. I think every time you step on the floor, it's a challenge, and you love it.
Guys, Coleman. Jamal gets it partially blocked up high, and on the follow it's Warren. The book on Warren. Excellent offensive and defensive board. It's the steal by Peeler. Hello. Back to Peeler. 3 if it goes. Count it. And 7-0. The steal by Peeler. Oh, you could see it coming from a mile away, and he gets his second freebie jam, and I think Danny Nee is up. He's not going to call a timeout, but he will make a substitution. Move around Johnson, suspends, not there, gets his own follow. Great athleticism, first 2 for Henny Peeler. He's got 4 free points on 2 jams. We'll be right back. 4-3. Peeler on the follow, nobody boxed him out, then he jams it home. Oh, my. Peeler alone. I'll tell you what. I don't know.
Him getting to the glass. He's 6'5", about 205.
You know, Norm Stewart describes his ball club this year is typical. They're not a great outside shooting team. One of the reasons they go to the free throw line so many times.
Yeah, they've taken 48 more free throws than the opposition over the course of going to sit as a result at the next whistle.
Jamal Coleman on the floor. Let's take a break.
Out of marble, and Peeler is pretty physical at his side. Booker is what you would have to look to push it ahead off makes or misses. They're looking to get it up the floor in a hurry.
Good quick move. Couldn't get it, but Coleman is right there, and nobody boxes out. Definitely is the man who's at the line right now, just coming off mononucleosis. Certainly Warren, second foul on Hughes. It's the 6th team foul on the Huskers.
One of the keys to drawing fouls
Kind of like a linebacker, I guess.
Yeah, wants to crack somebody's head.
Yeah, they like to find somebody to hit.
Nebraska in terms of some sloppy ball handling.
To show you how important Warren is to this lineup, he's back right here in front of a capacity house. Coleman. Coleman who comes away. Peeler dishes to Warren for the easy two. And you know what? I think your point is very well taken. Right now, Missouri. Peeler for three. That's 19 first half.
And had a touch lately. I would think he'd be the guy to squelch any run. Bang! Right on time, AP. Well, chasing Peeler around now.
Coleman now with 9 points.
Last 3 games, Coleman 67% shooting.
Further.
Adrenaline when you're trying to come back. The Huskers just need to string together a few of them.
Booker. As we have 60 seconds left to play in the hand. Jason Glock is in the ball game for Nebraska. As Kruda, they are the smaller of the two, and they have to take up for each other that way.
Watch out. He's for Nebraska was for him to be a factor, and he really hasn't been one yet.
Clarkie's already got 4 3-pointers.
Oh, I know he's got some triples, but
the Missouri record is 5, which is held by many, but he needs only 1 more 3-point on this course. Booker gets it away, and he'll go to the line. Oh, good heavens.
When it's flowing, gang. This is a touchdown strike of a pass from Kruda. That's Montana to Rice, although that's Melvin Booker. Now watch the hang. Contact, clutch it, and finish gently off the window, and Melvin Scooter Booker loves it. Hell, that had to feel good.
Completes the 3-point play with 2.5 seconds until intermission. Hayes gets it away, and they'll head to the locker room with the Missouri Tigers. With a commanding 53-31 lead. So let's take a break here at the Hearn Center. They are that John showed you about the first half. 25 points by Peter, 4 of 4 from 3-point land. Also 4 rebounds and 3 steals. And Clark is
smelling that 42-point mark.
Screwed up. Nice reverse to get the 2. 8 points for him.
Haven't come down here.
Peeler drives it to the hoop. Wow. Booker dishes back to Jamal Coleman. In fact, he is the type of kid, he's such a hard worker, but he will tell you, I can't go anymore. He said the minute he said, Booker. Oh, what a look.
Shoot yourself in, but you've got to look at the 3 every trip.
Booker knocks it down.
Just picked his pocket, reached in, and then used the hands a little bit to get around Fiakowski, then saved it in bounds.
Booker to Kruda, works him in the air, puts it down. Coleman with some good hustle to come away with it, and Peeler for 3. 29 now. Goes 0 on his back. You see the Peeler for 3, rips it. That's 32 points versus Missouri. The Huskers had a 1-point lead with 13 minutes to go, but Melvin Booker's 3-pointer put the Tigers on top for good. Coach Nee's squad stayed close until Anthony Peeler iced it down the stretch as Missouri won a record 5th tournament title.
See the light in his eyes. I mean, this guy loves to get out here and compete. Knows he's headed to the next one. If there are any others here, they'd have to be impressed with his shooting stroke tonight.
He's off. sometimes coach.
Anthony Peeler. Keep some of it. Keep the words. Watch and enjoy.
Picked up the foul. Come in and give violation for possession in the backcourt again. Warren with the turnaround gets it. Well, in attendance tonight, longtime voice of the St. Louis Cardinals, Jack Buck. He's in town to speak, and there's his son, Joe, who...
They've struggled most of the year, but now they're starting to assert themselves and could very well end up in the top 2 or 3 in that conference.
Every time he gets his hand on the basketball, they'd like to see him get that record tonight. And he is going to come out of the lineup to a standing ovation from this partisan house. The Antlers in attendance tonight, as usual.
I tell you what, Anthony Peeler has made a strong case.
Mentioned it. Frost off the screen, takes it to the hoop. See if he gets center next. Michael against the Cavs.
Barkley trade brewing. There's been rumbling.
So the hockey report from the Winter Olympics. USA up 3-0 and gave up 3 goals in the third period. The final one with 20 to get the stuff. 2 seconds, down to 1. Smith scored and it'll count. Very appropriate for it to end that way. So the Missouri Tigers go to 6-2 in the conference. They're 18-3 on the year. 2 seconds, down to 1. Smith scored and it'll count. Very appropriate for it to end that way. Now for Clark Kellogg, Ron Franklin saying so long from Columbia, Missouri.
We'll be back after this message from Phillips 66, the performance company. And we'll take a look at the way it looks right now in the Big 8. Kansas 8-2, then Missouri and Pruda. Now, Wilco will put it up. Pruda going up there.
Stronger and more aggressive back to their strong defensive play that they had early in the year. And that's one thing that Tigers want to do is roar down the court and get the...
4 teams ranked in the nation's top 15. You can catch them in action. Oklahoma State's Gallagher-Iba Arena in Stillwater. There's Coleman's jumper. Coleman hits. And the Tigers are out to a 5-0 out at Colorado. After the Sutton miss, Booker back to the attack. Underneath, Pruda! Javon Pruda has 2, and it's Session around the coach.
Booker goes up for the jumper, and sometimes that freezes the defense.
Long pass down court to Booker. Little shot down.
When the Tigers are really off and running, this crowd's behind this club. They've got good rhythm. They're
basketball till his senior year in high school. He's from Houston, Texas. He gets that one to go. Oklahoma. Booker for 3. Yes!
Boy, and he's been hot. He's hit 50
game this season. He hasn't wanted to put it up much. Coleman under to Pruda. Javon again.
The Tigers are sharp right now. Not only when they're getting down.
Finish in the regular Big 8 play. Pruda! And Pruda has 6 points to lead the Tigers. Pass under to Warren. Nicely done. Nice assist from Reggie Smith. Front to Sutton and around to Triplett. Triplett puts it through. Binky Triplett, who came into the game just a few moments ago. Javon Crudup, a 65.9% free throw shooter. But as I mentioned, he was in prep school in Maine last year. The free throws for Crudup. 8 points for Javon, and it's a 6-point lead. He is the big guy. Bryant Reeves, the freshman, with 3.
He played. Derek Dunham, I was told, cannot play. And then Steve Horton's got a knee problem, not the one.
Attacking. Frazier's shot wouldn't go. Coleman is there. Scores it. Coleman has 4 points. Down to 10 on the time clock. And a beautiful feed from Reggie Smith to Jamal Coleman. Jamal.
There's a nice pass. Gets it away from the defender inside to Coleman. That was moments ago when he had it down on the other end. Off that bench, particularly early in the ball game when they were making that 14-1.
Can make it a Missouri 11-point advantage. He does.
Iowa State's win over the Cowboys. They had 20 points at half, scored 64 in the second half.
Javon Prudhomme got the feed from Frazier.
Whoa.
And that comes out of there at the buzzer. Prudhomme has 11 points. Missouri leads at halftime here. 20
points coming from the frontline people led by Javon Prudhomme with 11.
Reggie Smith. Coleman to Frazier. Frazier gets it off the glass and a foul.
Great blow drives down and then a good move to the basket and Frazier makes
4 points in the game this afternoon and make it 5. Lamont Frazier. Just Big 8 tournament or tickets to the Big 8 home games in your area. Enter now at participating Phillips 66 station.
The defense inside the first half, giving him the outside.
Prudhomme, a little jumper. He got a nice pass that time from his second. Half a dozen for Reggie. Has had a lot of shoulder problems. Had an operation in the offseason, then jammed his shoulder. The other. Here is Coleman getting it. Boy, that just kind of hung there on the rim. Second half. We'll be right back.
After fighting him for a period of time, finally gets the foul.
Lamont Frazier's shot. I think they'll give it to Fred Court. And the turnover. And back the other way. It's Corey Williams again. And we're tied at 45. The first time we've been tied. Has 4 personals. Prudhomme in underneath. Jamal Coleman. It goes and he's fouled. Big hoop for Coleman. Big hoop indeed. And Gary's 17th foul against Oklahoma State. Only 3 against Missouri. 7:17 to play.
I think they're both in there.
They were both in there. And Coleman driving through. Out to Reggie Smith. Got it.
Boy,
Reggie's come calling here in the second half.
He's now looking for that shot. He's got some. Stewart says he holds his hands up. Let's watch here. Coleman coming in, makes the penetration to the inside, kicks it out to Smith, and you see him. No hesitation right there on the shot.
8 seconds on the shot clock. There's Prudhomme.
Boy, was that a nice square up. Come to the ball, square up. Number 8 in the Big 8 scoring derby.
Played for the gold medal. The free throws by Prudhomme. Missouri leads by
Michelle. There wasn't a real good angle for us to see, but he had to give it.
Prudhomme has picked up 7 rebounds today.
And he's right on that average for those 20 games. 17 points, which is above his season average.
Make it 18. And make it. And the Tigers getting the fresh 45. Here's Coleman. Yes! And he is fouled.
That one might have put it away.
13 points for Coleman. Out of Denver, Colorado. Williams missing that 3-point effort. Pass underneath. Coleman! Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Everybody's...
Booker, good pass down on the inside, catches Coleman as they're in the pressure situation. See him beat the situations, people rotating up, can't get back in time, and then Coleman, boom, knocks her home.
Coleman, an excellent free throw shooter, 3rd in the Big 8 for Oklahoma State, as well as Terry Collins, number 32. Out with the ankle problem. Healer on suspension for missing a couple of classes in January. State, check your local listings for the Big 8 action coming your way next week here on Mr. Iba. Of course, done some job down in Stillwater. Missouri
Big 8 championship, trailing Kansas by 1. And of course, Tigers have to go to Lawrence.
Oklahoma State 21-5, 5-5 in the conference. Eddie Sutton and Norm Stewart, 2 old friends, shaking hands. It is Missouri with a big win here, 66 Oklahoma State 52. We make Norm Stewart extremely pleased with all that's been going on. He was saying to me that that loss at Colorado the other night was really, really a tough one for them, and they didn't play well. Tonight marks the final appearance at Herd Center for Missouri seniors Anthony Peeler and Jamal Coleman. Overall, Missouri is 95-29 during the seniors' 4-year tenure. With 5 more wins, the Coleman-Peeler tandem will equal the total wins in a career record held by another special Tiger duo, Steve Stepanovich and John Sunvold. Anthony Peeler and Jamal Coleman are in the spotlight as the Tigers meet the Oklahoma Sooners next.
About 5 rebounds, 26 assists, 19 steals. He has been an integral part, probably a little bit more last year, played really well. This year, the guy who's been the star is Anthony Peeler. He'll be a first-round draft choice, 22.5 points, 5.5 rebounds, the assist.
First, welcome one of the best pure athletes on the MU squad. He currently ranks 3rd in the Big 8 in free throw shooting and is one of the Tigers' top rebounders. A Big 8 Player of the Week last by his mother, Edith Coleman, and his grandparents, Irving and Pearl Kelly. Ladies and gentlemen, a true Tiger, Jamal Coleman. Our second senior, this Tiger star leads the Big 8 in scoring and is among the leaders in steals, 3-point field goal percentage, and free throw percentage. He holds the MU career assist record, ranks 2nd in career steals and 4th in career scoring, and he was named today to the All-District team for the 3rd straight year. Ladies and gentlemen, his final appearance at home as a Tiger, accompanied by his parents, Larry and Carolyn Peeler, All-America candidate, Anthony Peeler.
We'll be back here at the Hearn Center. More than 13,000 standing and honoring these seniors. Back with basketball right after this. The officials, Ed Hightower, Ron Zetcher, and Paul Castor. Here's Warren with a steal. Jeff Warren driving, and there it goes. Peeler into Crudup. Oh, nice turnaround off the glass.
Boy, that was beautiful. Got it on the...
Crudup out to Peeler. AP on the run, takes the jumper. Peeler's first field goal. Peeler takes the drive and scores. Whoa, was he quick on that one. And the visiting Sooners have the lead, 11-8. Peeler to Booker for 3. Booker fell down, but he got the shot away. And
goes to the line.
Thought they called that last foul on Evans.
He had come that far out against Crudup.
Warren taking it in. He's got it. A lot of contact in the left. Demick all Big 8 again this year, giving it off to Booker. Under to Warren. Nice give and go.
Peeler down low, posts up against Evans. Looked like it might have been partially blocked. Watch him hang on here. The ball's tipped away. Keeps his head. There's the basketball. Backs up. Hangs on. And in it goes.
78.9% free throw shooter. Leading scorer in the Big 8. Bangs it home. 22-21. 7 points for Peeler. 21. Crudup takes one out front. Oh, yeah. Crudup showing a little distance on. Peeler in double figures. Peeler now with Peeler outside, guarded by Price. Under to Warren. Oh, what a pass. What a pass.
Which do you call, Jay?
Warren underneath. Again, what a first half. Peeler a three. Reggie Smith to Jeff Warren. Warren doing the business inside. Off it goes to Price. Janish's shot won't go. That's it. No, a foul is called. A foul called right at the buzzer on Smith. And Norm Stewart is saying, hadn't the buzzer sounded? Coach Stewart with a word on the far sideline.
Ron Zetcher says it's before the horn, and Norm Stewart is leaving.
Norm is headed to the locker room. But Janish will be on the line. And now Billy Tubbs says he's supposed to have 2 shots. He was in the act of shooting, but it's 1-1. And halftime at the Hearn Center. Oklahoma, a splendid half. They have 50. Missouri, 34. Coach Tubbs with some thoughts for the officials. We'll be right back after halftime. This is the Mizzou Sports Network.
1987 was a great recruiting year for the Tigers. Not only did they sign Mr. Show Me State basketball, Anthony Peeler, but they also got Colorado's Player of the Year, Jamal Coleman, to come to Columbia.
I knew Anthony from camps, and we played on regional teams together, so I knew what he could do. So
we just had some great times as growing up together and maturing as young men. We came in here as little young guys from high school and All-American in high school, and all the cliches are on our back. So then things had to just be settled down into perspective, and just to come in here and grow up with him and just to get to know him even more, it's been a great opportunity for me, and I wouldn't change for anything in the world.
Peeler and Coleman have been through a lot together, both good times and bad, and there's definitely been times they'll never forget.
The high point in Missouri, my sophomore year when I made second-team All-American, that's the biggest high point of my career, and getting the Big 8 Player of the Weeks and then winning the Big 8 championship.
For me, it was probably going to the NCAA tournament as a freshman. I thought I was in awe when I saw some of the great players that I used to watch when I was in high school, and we was playing against them, so that was a great thrill for me.
You look back at what they've been able to help accomplish. They've played on #1 ranked teams. They played on championship teams. They went 3 deep in the NCAA. They played in the finals of the NIT. They won the Maui Classic. They won the postseason tournament in Kansas City a couple of times. So they've had a lot of success. They're 95 wins now and counting. There's only been one ball club that's won 100 games in 4 years. They've got a chance to do that.
Tonight, the two are on the Hearns hardwood playing for the last time. Whether they show it or not, it does have an emotional impact.
I'm just going to give all the effort I got, and no matter when I get tired or anything like that, I just got to keep going because I know it's going to be my last time on the Hearns court, so it's going to be very exciting for me.
I think it's going to be very sentimental to me, so I'm going to go out there and just try to play hard, very hard.
It's going to be tough for you, this place?
Yes, it's going to be tough. I have a lot of good memories here, and I have a lot of good friends, so it's going to be pretty tough.
I'm going to be like a karate man. I'm just going to cry on the inside.
With a look at two Tigers seniors who have meant a lot to Missouri, I'm Brian Nooner reporting for the Mizzou Sports Network.
Halftime here at Hearns. Peeler comes up short, but Crudup is there. 7 points for Crudup. Got the turnover. Peeler off to Warren. Oh, yeah!
Great pass from Peeler. Look one way, delivered.
Happy. He might get back sooner than that. Off to Warren.
There's the play. Peeler gets it at the free throw line. There's Peeler. Rises up. Defense comes out. See the double team? Baseline's wide open. And when you don't guard him, Jay, he'll hit it.
And we came back live just as Peeler hit it from there. Crudup cuts the lead back to 10. 8 points for Crudup. Right now that Oklahoma is close to 60%.
Now 4 of 4 from the free throw line.
This would make it 5 for 5.
Just a little ahead of him. Not his shot, and it's not really what the offense calls for.
Peeler is double teamed, has to force it, but gets it. Oh, great shooting by 11 minutes to play. Warren off the glass for 2. AP on the run. And in the lane, he gets 2. points. Smith. And Crudup makes it in the feed. Crudup. Beautiful. This is one here among Big 8 teams in the last 5 years, but it looks like that's going to change here tonight. Maybe get the top spot, but not with this loss here tonight. Lamont Frazier, things didn't go well for him, and then they had that fine showing in the NIT. Timeout. Three going out. There's Horton, the only freshman on scholarship.
And here comes Anthony.
Peeler coming out. John Burns comes in. Standing ovation for Peeler. And Brent Price coming down. Look at this. Price coming down to congratulate Peeler in his final home game here. Very classy. Peeler in his career as a Tiger.
First in assists, second steals, second in three-point attempts.
And now third in scoring. He moves into third all time. Evans on the line. Smith. Chris bringing it back. Smith shoveled it off. Frost gets it. Derek Dunham. Derek Dunham. There's the name to remember. They like his chances down the road in a year or two. 3, Oklahoma. Burns the three over everything. Dunham. Dunham with 4 quick points. No call. Frost down. Scores it. Frost gets the bucket. That's it. 81-67. A big win for Oklahoma, spoiling the final home game of the season for Mizzou. This is the Mizzou Sports Network.
Today, it's the top 2 teams from the nation's best conference in their final regular season game. Kansas and Missouri will meet for the 224th time in this series, which has been brewing for 86 years. The Jayhawks clinched their 40th Big 8 title this past week and are looking to sweep the Tigers for the 2nd year in a row, something they haven't done in 25 years. It's KUMU on ABC. 1990, Missouri 77, Kansas 71, when those two teams are 1 and 2 in the nation. Today, they're ranked 11th and 3rd, respectively, as we are set to go. Injury plague, Jamal Coleman will not play today. That means just more on the shoulders of their great senior, Anthony Peeler.
Anthony Peeler's been a brilliant performer in a Big 8 conference. He's certainly going to be an NBA first-rounder. He's a scoring machine, as you can see his numbers. He's a tremendous open court player. He's really dynamite when he can get the ball in transition. But for Missouri to prevail, they're going to have to get some help from Anthony Peeler, and it's going to have to come from Mr. Warren on the inside.
The exciting
tradition, Dean Smith and Roy Williams has carried that over here in his coaching tenure at Kansas.
Tip controlled by, well, still moving around, and Warren finally served for Kansas the last couple of years. Peeler from 3 hits.
That's been the big rap in Anthony Peeler. Consistency.
Shooting 77% on the year. Missouri, a good free throw shooting. 6-4. A lot of pressure out front. Crudup will take it inside. 66%.
His high school team went undefeated his last year. Waits.
Quick pass inside to Warren. He missed it. But on the wing and knocking it down is number 15, Melvin Booker, the sophomore from Moscow.
A little quicker.
Frazier inside and hits it.
That's his range. He really scores. Bob Fredericks, the athletic director, when he brought Roy Williams here, because a lot of people really...
Missouri by 2. And Crudup makes it a 3-point lead. He's hit 3 out of 4 from the free throw line. Frazier gets it. Wide open is Crudup. Look at this.
Little jam. You don't want to spin dribble against their kind of defense because they're
13-8. Missouri leads Kansas.
They have 7 points right now off of turnovers, and there's Crudup. Excellent. What's going to happen with Jordan? He's such an excellent passer.
Warren make it 23 in a row.
23 in a row, but I can make that layup.
Missouri by 5. Peeler all the way, and it won't go. Crudup back up and in.
Crudup really working on the inside. Well, what a nice...
He's the best defensive player maybe in college basketball history.
Tremendous.
Walters for 2.
He's going to be focused basically on his future, and I think that he's going to have a heck of an NBA career because I think the 24-second clock is conducive to his free throw shooter on the year. He's really had a lot of problems with his shoulder. He had major shoulder surgery on the right shoulder. They've hit 6 of 9 from the line. He had 10 points in the second half when Anthony Peeler did not play. That win over Oklahoma State. Pressure from Jamison will guard you if you're 6'1 or 6'9. It doesn't matter. Crudup gets another one. Nice little jump hook by Crudup in the lane. National championship in 1988. Danny Manning and Larry will hook it up again.
Listen to this crowd. Peeler puts a little silence on it.
Oh, he stops the crowd. He silences it. They beat Indiana and beat Arkansas.
24-21. Peeler for 3 hits.
Anthony Peeler. Who said he can't shoot the rock?
73% from the free throw line and hits it.
This guy, Rich Daly, the assistant, and they loved him and they took him with them. And Mr. Green went on to break all the records.
Frazier loses it. Walters loses it. Look at Peeler.
Peeler gets the easy jam. Paseo High School almost came to Kansas.
He's blocked the shot, gotten a rebound as Smith takes it and dumps it to Crudup.
Charge.
Gonna be an offensive foul inside.
No doubt about it. Kansas rotates over defensive. Look at Norman trying to do the little dance. No way, Norman, baby. That was a charge. Now take a look at the charge right here. See the defensive player rotate over? Right there after.
I don't know, Dick. I don't know.
That's my good eye, Roger. That's my right, not my left.
I don't know. I don't think either of those guys were set. And Reggie Smith picks up his 3rd foul. And this is something Missouri's got to be very aware of today because he is only going 7 deep. I mean, he could go deeper on his bench, but only 7 guys with playing time of any.
In the game, the give and go.
Kansas by 4. They were down the defense here, and they do the offense.
Well, their defense has been special all year long.
Peeler for 2 hits.
He has to hit the perimeter shot because Jamison is playing a step off him. Will be Kansas. 2 will be Indiana. 3 will be Duke. At Southern Cal. He was recruiting him for Carolina. Then he tried to convince him to come here to Kansas, but they went on. Will they get 6 teams in the postseason out of the conference? I personally think they deserve it. They've got to win over Kansas. I think they have enough quality wins to offset the 5-9 record, even though I agree I would like 2nd and 3rd other than pride in the Big 8 for the tournament.
Peeler for 2. Write it down.
You know what I'm saying, Roger? What does it really mean? But
on the wing, Horton can't get it. Peeler the board. And in. Anthony Peeler was 17.
Nice little head fake by Peeler.
He gets Jamison into him. No call. Booker for 3. Hits. Oh, Melvin Booker. Big hoop.
He's got that range for the last
percent. 13 of 16 on the year.
He has a good touch. He's a real good shooter from the perimeter. See, drive at the 2 guys.
Woodbury for 3. Hits.
That was created by the execution of Jordan. He drove the ball right at the 2 guys up on top, pinches them, wings it to the wing, and Woodbury delivers it.
BC stations. In Missouri 2013, you look at the points. Peeler comes up big with 17. Booker had 11. Alonzo Jamison for Kansas.
Where he belongs. Scott belongs inside.
Inside to Warren. Make that 24 in a row without missing.
24 shots. The loss to do.
Crudup at the line. And he hits the first one. He's got 10 points.
And he loves playing defense, Jordan.
Ooh, nice move off the window right there.
Try to clear out, go to an isolation for Peeler.
Good pass to Booker for 3. Hits.
Created by the double team on Peeler. He recognizes the defense rotating over, throws it right over the top. He's playing well right now. They got a big week coming up. They have a game with UCLA. I can't wait to go down there for that one. And then they have a...
Crudup's had a good day so far. He hits both of those.
He's tough on the glass, Roger.
We got a timeout, and we've got a close ball game, Dick. 57-55, Kansas by 2.
Sounds pretty good. They got McLean and Murray. Not a bad combination, Jimmy Hurd.
From the corner, and guess who for 3? Anthony Peeler.
I'll tell you, Roger, he's a much better shooter than I expected. They're really banging inside.
Crudup and Pauly really hitting each other. Good move by Peeler. That was big time, folks, right there.
He's got that great head fade.
He's going to leads it at 10. That's their biggest lead. Peeler off the glass and count it.
I mean, that is absolutely awesome.
Is that good?
That is awesome. That is absolutely sensational. I mean, are you serious? Taking it right in the heart of the defense. Here goes AP. He says, come on, Jayhawks, try to defend me. And he kisses it on the glass. That's awesome, baby, with a capital A.
Anthony Peeler. Making 8 points in the half, 25 on the night.
What a deep senior. He originally committed to Kansas, and then when the possible probation stepped in, he came very close, he told me, to SEC since 1985. 28 of the selections have come skip pass.
Peeler on the wing, watch him make something happen. Jamison got a piece of it. Warren puts it up and in. Now he makes that one. If he'd have gotten the other one, it would have been a new NCAA record.
Warren might be the best offensive rebounder in the Big 8.
Missouri can cut it to 10 here with a hoop. Peeler!
Oh, hello! Wait till you see him in the NBA, my friends. He'll be running a transition game. Woo!
78-60. Roger Twyfel, Dick Vitale back with you. Kansas has got a 10-point lead over Missouri. And Dick, look at this transition off the defense from Missouri and the finish.
Well, Booker knows right now he's got Peeler on the left, and he's going to kick it off for the assist. And there he goes with the slam jam. Bam! Hello, Anthony Peeler. And I've enjoyed watching him over the 4 years. And that he's going to have himself a heck of an NBA career in front of him.
And he gets them both. Comes up with a turnover. Watch Peeler in the open court. And count it.
I mean, that's amazing. That's the 3S man. He is super. He is scintillating. He's sensational. What an open court player. We talked about the open court in the opening of the game, Roger, about how if he can get in transition, we're going to watch him right now. Peeler, the ball's popped loose, and Anthony Peeler right now, this is the open court right here. He's at his best. And in the NBA, which is a transition game with the 24-second clock, he is going to make somebody an outstanding number 2 guard.
32 points for Anthony Peeler, and all of a sudden it's a 5-point game. 9-point Kansas lead, less than 4 to go.
This is a big possession. They need to score.
Warren underneath. He's 4 out of 5 today, but the one miss on the tip-in.
Ran a real diagonal cut, threw the ball over to Staub in contention. The team's been besieged with problems with Coleman, and then you had Warren with his problems. I know Byron Houston's had a great year, but I think he's just been so much more to this team, Peeler. So Corey Williams and Alexander. Not to take anything away from Byron.
3 men on him, and Peeler knocks it down. He's got 34.
Well, certainly.
Anthony Peeler for 3 points and an 85.
The Razorbacks, and they clinched the Western Division Championship in their first year in the SEC. Kentucky clinching the East. Norman Stewart, you ready to go from Lawrence?
Frazier got them both. We have got a 4-point game.
And half-court trap.
Peeler for 3. Hits!
Oh, what a night.
Anthony Peeler.
Little Lionel Richie all day long, baby. All night long.
And he's got 40 today. Timeout on the floor. Kansas leads it by 3. Missouri's got 1 timeout left. Stripped by Peeler. They're going to call him for the foul.
Oh, wow.
That's his 3rd.
He said, come on, Mr. Referee. It's my day. Come on. Look at Anthony. AP. He said, I can't believe it.
Booker just came over and said, man, you had it clean.
Yeah, he said, you had that baby clean.
Less than a minute to go against rival Kansas. Allen Fieldhouse, 15,800. Look at the numbers there.
And against the number 3 team in the nation.
Peeler, of course, 4 of 8. Booker's hit 2 of 3.
Watch Peeler, the guy coming out of bounds. He's a dangerous guy.
From the corner. Hits!
Oh, he keeps it going!
That's a new career high for Anthony Peeler, 43 points. And Missouri has pulled to within 2 with 45 seconds left to go. We'll be back to Lawrence right after this.
You can see it right here. The defense breaks down. Great job of screening by Warren to make it happen. And that is a career high, my friends, 43. And this is not Cupcake City. This is against some real surf and turfers, baby. Kansas.
2 rebounds will bring it down. 1 last shot.
Go in, go in. Roger, it's been great. Anthony Peeler, you are super.
Dick, thanks so much. Great working with you again. Look forward to next year, buddy.
It was great. Kansas really got an outstanding team, but what a performance by Peeler.
97-89, the final score. Kansas beats Missouri. For Dick Vitale, I'm Roger Twyville. Thanks for being with us from Lawrence, Kansas. Domino's Pizza College Basketball on ABC. Presentation of Raycom. We'll see you, everybody.
Action next year in both the front court and the back court. Guard Melvin Booker will serve as the Tigers' floor leader, and he's coming off a solid sophomore campaign. Booker was consistently in double digits in the scoring column and one of the top assist men in the league as well, often feeding to senior-to-be Jeff Warren. Warren will be part of an experienced front court for the Tigers. The 6'8 forward always makes life rough on the opponent with relentless hustle and a knack to make the big play. And Warren won't be alone in his battle for the boards. Javon Crudup will be there to chip in as well. Norm Stewart will gladly welcome back one of the top rebounders in the league and an accurate shooter as well. Crudup hitting well over 50% from the floor in Big 8 play. The Oklahoma
March Madness. Iowa State may be in the NCAA tournament. Or they may be on the bubble. Missouri is in the tournament and is playing for both position and pride. It's Anthony Peeler, the crafty senior, against Iowa State's new kids on the block. And it's coming up next on Raycom.
Warren, Smith, Booker, Crudup, and Peeler on the court. Last-minute change in the lineup. About Jamal Coleman, he can play. Here's Booker in the lane. Ball was there. Booker all game for Missouri when he has the opportunity. Mikalik all alone. Mikalik unguarded underneath, and it's 6 to... In along the line, double team gets it to Warren. Warren fights his way for 2 off the glass.
That's come down on the break and get that, about a 15.
The line.
More than Price from Oklahoma. He's the nearest to him and going to the foul line. So it shows that he can put the ball on the floor.
Long pass, Booker to Coleman. Coleman is there.
Well, that's what I was telling you about Missouri. They will cheat.
A wonderful start through a viral.
Well, they're looking to go inside right there. Crudup way too deep. If he gets the ball in there with his strength on Mikalik, it's going to be trouble.
Crudup got that bucket down out of Mullen in Denver, Colorado. And Loans have doubled the score. It's 22 to 11. Here's Crudup going in off the glass for 2.
Missouri
season for Thigpen. He's got 4 points.
The Cyclones 33-18.
Peeler and Crudup both missed at the other end, and Mikalik and the Iowa State crowd is going crazy. Booker comes back to get one. Mikalik has missed it, and here comes Peeler trying to get on the board.
Nice give off.
Crudup scores, and he is fouled by Lauren Meyer.
He can do something more than shoot. He comes through here, threads his way, gives it off. He's Missouri's all-time assist leader career-wide.
There's only 2 points here at the stripe. He now has 3. Got all. He may not be showing any emotion, but he's enjoying it. Peeler finally gets a bucket. Peeler would not. 39-21 Iowa State. Peeler a 3. There he is.
You can't keep him down forever, and you have to keep pressure on him. Bayless, that.
Peeler a 3. Now he's beginning to feel it. Look out. 4th down to Booker. He takes the jumper. Yes, it is a big one.
That's a crucial mistake by Thigpen. Going too early, not making a good play. And Missouri comes up with a big one to narrow to 13.
Johnny Orr's Cyclones with a fine first half. It's Iowa State 43.
Missouri Norm Stewart had to call 2 timeouts in that first half, so he's only got 1 timeout to play with here in the second half. But they go to and Crudup now will go to the line.
Crudup, a 67.2 academic, all Big 8 performer, Litchfield, Michigan. Not a good
well for Missouri in the first half. But it's funny, you turn things around, you get the momentum going your way, and things like this happen.
The Taylor into Crudup. Crudup can't get it, gets it back and scores it.
You know, that's the second time Missouri has caught Iowa State napping.
Peeler dishing it off. Coleman. Jamal Coleman hitting.
Well, they need some
cause that can out of Kansas. 43 points. Now 15 for him. The free throws by Peeler. And it's back to an 8-point lead for And Peeler deals it back out to Booker for the three.
Yes! Boy, Booker hurt Iowa State, as I said earlier, at Columbia with those three-pointers. Now he's hit some...
They're inside the 15-minute mark. The Tigers with a huge comeback here. Crudup! On the gold medal North team for the U.S. Olympic Festival in Los Angeles last summer. And the Tigers have cut the lead. Moss Point, Mississippi, 76.3% free throw shooter. 11 points for Booker. Booker can give the Tigers the lead for the first time. And Booker with a dozen.
Tigers down by 17 points in the first half, 41-24.
What a steal. Peeler.
He'll take it by himself. Look at him cross over and take it in. Coast to coast, nobody better than this guy. And Iowa State may have
go the route.
Yeah, well, he had big Mikulik on him right here to defend against him. We know that he's going to be quicker. He's got him running with half turn. He just turns to the inside, takes it up, lays it in. And Jay, this place sold out all the time. One of the toughest tickets there is to get.
Coleman injuring his knee with 125. Booker trying to break it. Rebound Crudup. Javon Crudup with two.
Almost 5 here in the second half.
Warren got the rebound after the shot by Coleman. Warren now has... Coleman. Another point.
With Warren taking him out of the ball game, getting him a little rest and going with Frazier against Pippen.
Tigers up by 5. Tigers back on top. Peeler has 20. 6:53 remaining in regulation. Booker off to Crudup. Javon Crudup. Sports Cable Networks. The Tigers are up by 2 at 65-63. Coleman. Coleman's come through a day. He's come back from this right knee problem. 17 for Bayless. Iowa State by 1. Crudup gives the lead back to Missouri.
There's that penetration hurting Iowa State.
What a splendid performance for both clubs. Peeler's turnaround. Yes, indeedy.
Well, he can do it all. That's what he can do. He can take you out.
Looking in, gives it now to Booker, into Crudup. Crudup's turnaround, banked off the glass. 73-70 Missouri. As we come back to the action, Big Pen.
Big three.
A huge three.
Eaton gets the roll.
Eyes the hoop.
King's possession arrow goes to Iowa State. In the timeouts, we got Iowa State with 1 and Missouri with 1.
The lead is 1 for the Cyclones. 75-21 for Bayless.
If they look for Peeler, there it is. He did it against Kansas. Doesn't get it this time.
Crudup from the corner. It won't go.
That's going to be it. Oh, you don't want to take a chance with a pass like that, but they get by with it.
And Iowa State wins it. In this first half. Then the Tigers came back, and they led by 5 in the second half. Let's go now and talk things.
He's certainly a force that West Virginia will have to control.
And like Missouri, active forwards for West Virginia, Robinson and Green. Good backcourt. Quickness with Leonard and Boyd. Jamal Coleman, who's had a knee injury, returns to the starting lineup for Missouri. Making their 17th NCAA appearance. Missouri appearing for the 13th time, but they've had a history of first-round failures of late. And we'll have a re-jump.
Now they play man-to-man continually. The Mountaineers will change. But they start in the man-to-man and they lose Warren.
Peeler with a great pass to Jeff Warren, who ties it up.
It's me, or did they look a little tight on that possession?
A little tight.
Peeler slips inside to score to give Missouri the lead.
That's an awfully tough matchup for Chris Leonard.
Problems losing their last 4 games. They lost to Kansas State, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Iowa State. That's about it. Well, who knows? The losing in the first round of the Big 8 tournament might be a blessing in disguise for the Tigers of the NCAA tournament.
Peeler, an 80% free throw shooter on the year. The Mountaineers haven't scored a field goal yet. They're 0 for 4. They Shelton.
West Virginia leads 9-7. The Mountaineers missed their first 5 shots, but have hit their last 3. And Jeff Warren, who does a lot of damage inside, scores for Missouri to tie it. In Pollard's case, he said the High Sox make him shoot better. Okay, that makes sense to me. Crudup scores for Missouri to make it 11-9.
Last 2 opportunities.
For the Missouri Tigers, a sophomore from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Devon Crudup at the free throw line. He sinks 2. Crudup, a second-team All-Big 8 selection. A steal knocked away by Crudup. Jamal Coleman is open. And he delivers to give Missouri a 15-9 lead. Sort of flow in the game when you're in and out like when teams like West Virginia and Iowa substitute as they do. Warren's basket won't count.
No, it's smoke comes out of my ears when I do that. What a leap by Coleman.
Jamal Coleman scores for Missouri to make it 17-9.
And another
deflected it. And Boyd gets his shot blocked by Jamal Coleman, who can really leap. Peeler for 3. You hear that net snap as he popped it through there. 8 points for Anthony Peeler. He is a scoring machine. Wow. Foul was called on Phil Wilson. That's his second foul. And Crudup makes 1 out of 2. It started slowly. Peeler with a nice pass into Crudup for the jump hook.
Anthony Peeler, for all his scoring, is the all-time assist leader. Anthony Peeler in the man-to-man, so he's played not a lot of minutes, but very hard minutes when he has been in the game.
Lamont Frazier at the free throw line for the Tigers. That's a familiar name in Big 8 circles because his uncle Ricky was the big
4 sophomores who play a great deal for Missouri.
With 7. Anthony Peeler with a strike inside to Jeff Warren. It was kind of interesting as the lights went out. Jeff Warren raced down the floor and scored, but the basket did not count.
It's very frustrating for a player, Mel, with these delays going on. I've been involved as a player in a game that was delayed. Concentration back into the ball game. Of course, this is a big ball game for both these teams, and they have to force themselves to do it.
And it was initially announced they would take a... Chris Leonard out to Basie for 3. Final seconds of the half. Peeler with the bomb. Oh. And guess what? They're going to the locker rooms again for the 3rd time in the first half. That's the end of the first half with the score. Missouri 38, West Virginia 38. CBS Sports exclusive coverage. It took almost 2 hours to complete the first half of basketball here because of 2 delays totaling 45 minutes. Jamal Coleman of Missouri opens the second half scoring as Wilson both played well in the first half. Booker puts up a 3. A seesaw game so far. The lead. Imagine what would go through their mind. We had 2 power failures in the first half.
That was
Peeler
not a
with
pass.
the jam.
That was not a pass. Booker, I think he may have said something to Chris Leonard.
It's 45-42 Missouri. Here comes Peeler. He and Leonard have each scored 15 points. That counts, and a foul on Leonard.
We just were talking about the battle going on between Leonard.
Grumbling to Charlie Range about that call. Anthony Peeler with 18 points, Art. I think you'd get a buzz out of that. Coleman off the glass to score. 50-42 Missouri. Crudup, who's been rather quiet offensively, unable to score. Good work on the offensive boards. Not sure who's going to get credit for the tip. Crudup will get credit for the tip in. Devon Crudup, Jamal Coleman, and Frazier in there as Crudup scores. He has 11 points. And it's 50. And a steal by Peeler. Peeler throws it down. He's got 20, and Missouri has opened up a 10-point lead, the biggest lead for either team.
Westford.
8 rebounds for Javon. Frazier takes it to the hole. We'll be continuing our broadcast of West Virginia and Missouri to areas of natural interest for the...
Green swipe at the basketball. I don't think he saw Green grab Booker by the chest and pull him down, or else I think they would have called it in
9:48 remaining. Frazier with a baseline jumper. 6 points for Lamont Frazier, and Missouri leads by 10.
Strong three-point shooting and offensive rebounding, but since the power failures, West Virginia has struggled the boards, and Missouri has turned West Virginia turnovers into 22 points.
Anthony Peeler. That cuts the lead to 9. Frazier goes hard to the basket. That counts, and a foul.
In this second half, Missouri.
Peeler for 3. He's been all he was supposed to be in this game. Booker with a baseline jumper.
Peeler not in the basketball game. You wonder who's going to step up for Missouri, and Booker with
scoreless in the game. They'd like to see him shoot more. He does a good job of handling the ball and making it
one behind the other as he shoots the free throw. That's a very odd style.
Unless it works.
If it works, it's an...
Jamal Coleman, who was subject of controversy earlier this year, he was actually suspended for a game for his involvement in a this year.
Missouri shooting almost 60% from the field in the second half. West Virginia on the other.
Missouri located in Columbia, Missouri. Enrollment almost 25,000. They went 20-8 this year, although they lost their last 4 games. We talked about their takes.
It has not been downhill for the Missouri Tigers, but there again is an offensive foul.
Frost swinging his elbows.
Well, Basie got right up in his face. Basie did a tremendous job. Missouri now with 16.
Colorado Rockies baseball team. Man who has only one set of clothes, too.
You just weave all the...
Gamey by game 4 tonight.
If you don't get the steal right away, you've got to get the foul.
Oh, yes, a jam by Jamal Coleman, but it was a penetration of Melvin Booker that made that play possible.
Coleman now has 15 points. West Virginia pressing. They're going for the fouls. They miss it out top. Basie comes in and actually fouls Coleman across the head. Basie at 5 feet.
About his suspension, he actually had served 10 days in jail over several weekends and paid back $700 as a part of the penalty in that book selling scam, and then was
everybody knew they had Peeler, but they thought they had a weak front line, and this guy certainly bolstered that front line.
Tigers break the press, and Crudup is fouled by Lawrence Pollard. Oh no, the lights go out for the 3rd time. Oh, can you believe this? In the first half, we had two outages. The delays total 45 minutes. We finally get the second half underway. We get down to the last minute and 39 seconds, and the lights go out for the 3rd time.
And we know from experience that it will take approximately 20 to 25 minutes for these lights to come back on. And the problem is these are vapor lights, and so once they go out, they have to wait about 15 minutes until they cool down enough until they can turn them back on. And for West Virginia, this is just dragging out the agony.
They have to let the lights cool down, and then it takes, as Dan said, a period of time for them to heat back up.
Well, actually, I think what they're going to do is call the 2 coaches together. We do, as you can see, have some light in here. It's not real clear lighting, and they may decide that they're just going to finish the game in these lighting conditions.
Well, what would you do if you're a Gale? Absolutely incredible. For those of you who may have joined us late, we've had some severe thunderstorms, and a tornado hit 20 miles south of Greensboro earlier today. Twice in the first half we had the delays, and now another one with 1:39 left. And maybe Leslie Visser can go in just a moment.
Be sad because teams look forward all year to getting to the NCAA tournament, and then to have this kind of disruption, it just detracts a little bit from what's going on.
Javon Crudup at the free throw line for Missouri, Virginia. Jamal Coleman with 17 points today. He's played well. Not far behind. They've attempted 28. And Coleman makes good. With a minute 14 left.
When you win a game, Mel, coaches take them any way they can get them, and Norm Stewart will take this one. They'll be a force to be reckoned with next season.
Booker sinks 2 free throws to give Missouri.
That's great ball movement.
Javon Crudup sets it down. And Missouri has this one wrapped up. But Missouri will win this game. Javon Crudup with 17 points, 10 rebounds, and now Norm Stewart's going to clear his bench.
Norm Stewart's going to get some of his kids in. They don't get much of an opportunity to play for the last 9.7 seconds of the ball game.
John Burns, Derek Dunham check in. Chris Smith is also in the game for the Tigers. This is the 40th free throw coming up for Missouri in the game. A total of 68 free throws between the two teams. We've had everything you could possibly want. And did we get another 20-minute delay? Leonard for 3. And that's it, I think. So a long game that took better than 3 hours to complete, and Missouri outlasting West Virginia. 89-78 our final score. The Tigers will advance now to meet Seton Hall, a winner earlier today over LaSalle 78-76.
See this game. I think a great matchup. Anthony Peeler, who's had a tremendous hot hand. He's put a team on his back and carried them. Going against one of the most versatile defenders in Gordy Winchester of Seton Hall. That's going to be a great head-to-head matchup for the fans to watch.
As the 4th-seeded Seton Hall Pirates meet the 5th-seeded Missouri Tigers. Duke has advanced with a win over Iowa, holding off the Hawkeyes in the second half. And in our final game, it's Missouri against Missouri.
Missouri, of course, has Anthony Peeler, and he's their top player, but Javon Crudup, second-team All-Big 8. He scored and rebounded in double figures in each of the last 3 games. They'll be looking to him.
So Crudup on the front line along with Warren and Jamal Coleman. Booker and Peeler in the backcourt. Winchester, Karnisovas, Walker, Caver, and DeHare for Seton Hall. And let's again check.
There's the matchup that Leslie was talking about. Winchester against Peeler, and Crudup, who we talked about before the game, steps up the beat.
Make it 2-0, Missouri. Jerry Walker ties it up. So those two guys right on cue. You build them in a pregame show, and they both have scored. So
they're that easy.
Jamal Coleman over Terry DeHare. Coleman has had some knee problems lately, but he's back in good health. It's been a double deal to Brian Caver. Between the legs to the hair, but that's a charging foul. What a pass by Brian Caver.
Entertaining looking play, unfortunately for Seton Hall, doesn't end up in a basket. The hair between the legs. You talk about transition defense, you can't really do it much better than Booker there. You know, Caver had a layup, then he passed it up. Mel Booker was behind him, and if Caver scored, but the hair picks up a foul.
Peeler for 3. Anthony Peeler, a 42% shooter from three-point range, makes it 7-2 Missouri.
Seton Hall, of course, in the man-to-man defense as well.
Missouri still hasn't missed. They've hit their first 4 shots as Jamal Coleman makes it 9-5. Terry DeHare has it stripped away by Coleman. Booker showing his quickness. No basket. Called interference. We'll see.
Coleman got down the court very quickly. Of course, we're in the cylinder. Booker does a nice job. However, the pressure from Winchester causes the miss. That ball looked like it was stiff.
Nice pass by Peeler inside to Booker, who misses, but gets it back. Melvin Booker scores to make it 11.
1-3-1 zone.
Booker launches a 3.
And against the 1-3-1, if the ball goes into the middle and the post guy passes.
Caver dishes to Leahy. Another three-pointer for John Leahy. He's come off the bench to score 9 points. He hasn't even been in 9 minutes. Seton Hall enjoying a 9-0 run, but Frazier answers for the Missouri Tigers.
That's That's a nice pass inside that zone defense.
This kid Leahy would have played last year, but he broke his ankle the day before the first game. So he was a medical redshirt, traveled with it. Mellon Dan in Greensboro.
And welcome back to the Greensboro Coliseum. Our first free throws of the game by Missouri's Javon. Danny Hurley, number 15, the younger brother of Duke's Bobby Hurley, is in the game. Terry DeHare buries a three. Will they ever miss? They're 6 for 6 from three-point range.
Missouri simply not getting plan at this point.
Seton Hall's biggest lead. Back door to Coleman. Nice pass by Peeler, showing his versatility. One of the Peeler trying to feed Jeff Warren, who gets it off a deflection and scores. He rarely misses. All right, Leslie, I understand he was spending a lot of time around those cheerleaders as a former Boston College cheerleader. I think Leslie's having
their big guys in and out of the game, people leaning on Warren and Crudup inside.
Melvin Booker scores, and the assist to Jeff Warren, who made that entry pass. It's 32-24 Seton Hall.
This is for Seton Hall play.
Crudup's jumper rolls in.
Crudup only about 6'8" or 6'9".
Peeler with the steal. That cut the Seton Hall lead to 4. Anthony Peeler has been held to 5 points. He's averaging 23 a game. Jamal Coleman and Javon Crudup on the front line. Peeler forces up a shot and hits it. He really had to work hard to even get off shots in the defensive goal.
Today's game, LaSalle, 800 three-pointers on the year. Seton Hall only 388. Those are attempts. The three-point shot. He'd like them to get the ball down inside.
One of the reasons he'd like to see that happen is to probably get some free throws if they can do something inside. Want to spread it out here, let Tabor penetrate. But he loses the ball, and Peeler has it. It's a 1-point Seton Hall lead.
Early in the basketball game on that penetration, Peeler was dropping in to help Leahy.
Coleman puts up a three-pointer.
I don't think that's what Norm had in mind.
Tabor pushes it up, launches the half-court bomb as the first half comes to an end. That's the end of the first half with the score: Seton Hall 36, Missouri 33. CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship will continue after this.
They missed their last 7 threes, and that man right there knew that the perimeter defense was going to be a very important key for his team. They didn't do it well early. They did it well late. Norm Stewart wants to see that good perimeter defense continue.
By 7 in last year's tournament, DeHare averaged 24.5 points a game. Peeler on the drive.
Switches to the right hand and lays. Crudup doing a nice job getting open inside. His teammates aren't finding him though.
Crudup gets Walker off his feet to score. The pump fake by Javon. That's 8 points. Seton Hall.
You've got to give DeHare some room. He's shown it with that explosive step. I don't know how he saw Caver hidden over there in the corner, but Caver with the great one-handed cup.
For the Missouri Tigers. Anthony Peeler scored. He has 13 points, and it's 51-39 Seton Hall. Karnisovas 4-3. 9 points for Arturas Karnisovas. And Seton Hall has opened up a 15-point lead. The Pirates' biggest advantage. Peeler trying to get 3 back, and does.
Okay, while we have a moment with that Seton Hall lead at 15 with 11:30 to go, let's get to Cincinnati, where North Carolina is playing Alabama. The Tar Heels now starting to pull away on an 11-point lead. Take another look now at Seton Hall and Missouri. We've been able to get our picture back, although we have no line of communication with our broadcast truck. So we'll call it from here as Anthony Peeler hits the jumper to cut the Seton Hall lead to 10. Power outages on Thursday. The AC went out earlier today. That's AC Earl of Iowa. 6:55 remaining in the game, and we understand it was our truck that's
time and scored. Of course, you don't ever want to score to get bashful, but he's got to be concentrating a little bit on what the status of this game is.
Crudup on the follow, and it's 70-59. Seton Hall with 6:15
in the NCAA tournament. The last time they were defeated in this level was in 1980 years in succession in their 18th straight NCAA tournament. No basket. The final 64-55. Basketball, it's going to be difficult for the Missouri Tigers to defend them. And now on a kickball that goes out of bounds, avoid the fouls if you can.
Peeler misses, gets it back, and scores. 79-63 Seton Hall. It's the biggest lead for the Pirates. Javon Crudup scores for Missouri, and they call a quick timeout. Reggie Smith. 79-60.
Experience that the Seton Hall Pirates are very happy to have had.
And a slam by Jamal Coleman showing his athletic ability, but it won't be enough as we had 3 power outages in the Missouri-West Virginia game Thursday. That produced the longest game in NCAA history. It lasted 3 hours and 10 minutes. 28 points. What a great player.
Tremendous day today and a tremendous career as a Missouri Tiger.
And he got 28 against one of the country's best defensive players, Gordon Winchester. Them. And the Hurley's father, Bob Hurley, was the coach of that team. Still is, matter of fact.
Who's he going to get his tickets from?
Dunham with a fall-away jumper. And that'll do it. Seton Hall has defeated Missouri 88-71. And so the Seton Hall Pirates will now meet Duke in Philadelphia. The Chevrolet players of the game are Anthony Peeler of Missouri, who finished with 28 points, and Jerry